Remember the Academy Awards, I said how he's the worst host in the history of the... He goes out and reads my truth to the entire audience right before the best prime time, the best picture, and it said basically, he is the worst host in the history. He reads the whole thing, and then I think he said something like, ha, 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 he thinks he bothers me, or some crap like that. I said, he's one of the dumbest human beings ever. He should have listened to his wife.
The audience was already laughing by the time Donald Trump stepped onto the late-night stage, but beneath the laughter, there was unmistakable tension. People could sense that something sharper was about to happen. Jimmy Kimmel sat calmly behind his desk while Trump waved confidently to the crowd like a man convinced the room already belonged to him. For the first few minutes, the interview seemed ordinary enough. Trump looked completely at ease, controlling the energy inside the studio. He criticized late-night comedy, claiming television hosts were no longer funny and had turned into political activists pretending to entertain audiences. He argued that many comedians spent more time attacking him than making America.
When is ABC Fake News Network firing seriously unfunny Jimmy Kimmel, who incompetently presides over one of the lowest-rated shows on television? People are angry. It better be soon. This guy is so mad at you. Would think I posted a picture of seashells or something. Trump has 3 wars going on right now: Iranians, Ukrainians, and
laugh. Every line came with the same confidence that had carried him through years of rallies, interviews, and television appearances. But Kimmel did not respond the way many people expected. He simply nodded quietly and waited for the room to settle into silence. Kimmel leaned slightly forward and calmly replied, "That's interesting, because I was actually planning to talk about something else tonight." The mood shifted immediately. Behind them, the large screen suddenly lit up. The first clip showed Trump during an older interview.
About Iran. Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon. Why am I getting the same threats he's giving to Iran? Let me explain something. And I want to make something clear. I am not the Ayatollah. Guillermo, do I look like the Ayatollah?
A little bit. Sorry.
Confidently delivering one of his past statements, Kimmel remained silent while the audience watched the footage play across the screen. The laughter in the room slowly faded. Trump quickly argued that television clips could always be edited unfairly, but the atmosphere had already changed. He had entered the interview expecting to overwhelm the host with confidence, volume, and quick insults. Instead, Kimmel quietly redirected the spotlight back onto him without ever raising his voice. Kimmel glanced back toward the screen, then looked at Trump and gave a small shrug. "I just thought people might want to hear it again," he said calmly. This time, the audience laughed differently. The reaction was no longer nervous or uncertain. It was the sound of people realizing the comeback had already landed. Trump had tried to make Kimmel the punchline, but Kimmel responded by holding up a mirror and letting the audience decide what they saw for themselves. Trump attempted to regain control of the conversation. He argued that comedians had become politically biased and unfair. He claimed late-night hosts were part of a larger media machine focused on attacking him every night. But the audience no longer followed his rhythm the way they had at the beginning. Every defense sounded weaker because the screen behind him had already shifted the balance of the room. Meanwhile, Kimmel stayed completely calm. That calmness slowly became the strongest force in the exchange. He rested his hands on the desk and allowed the silence between sentences to grow heavier. Without even realizing it, the audience leaned toward him. Then, Kimmel delivered the line that froze the studio. "Sometimes the funniest joke," he said quietly, "is simply replaying what someone already said." For a moment, the entire theater went silent. Then applause exploded through the room. People rose from their seats, clapping while others laughed with the kind of release that comes after tension finally breaks. Trump forced a smile, but the cameras captured the difference instantly. Earlier in the interview, he had looked like the man controlling the room. Now he looked cornered beside a giant screen, replaying his own words back to him. For many viewers at home, the moment became about far more than comedy. It became about accountability, about the idea that public words still matter years later, about the reality that confidence alone cannot erase contradictions, and about how sometimes the strongest response is not shouting louder, but calmly replaying the truth and allowing people to hear it clearly. Trump had tried to turn the night into an argument about Kimmel's politics and comedy. Instead, Kimmel transformed it into something entirely different. He turned it into a moment about memory, patience, and the quiet power of restraint. By the end of the segment, most people barely remembered Trump's opening insult. What stayed with them was Kimmel's calm expression, the glowing screen behind the stage, and the deliberate way he allowed the moment to unfold without panic or anger. Because when someone builds their image through constant noise, sometimes the most devastating response is remaining calm long enough for the noise to expose itself.